Okay, quick recap from last time, since it's been a few weeks and I'm not sure if everybody was there. So, topic was the imperative, commands, polite or not so polite. I mean, the imperative definitely being the stronger form. For a lot of verbs, it just looks like the stem, or yeah, I guess that's the best way to put it. I hesitate to say looks like the infinitive because for the weak verbs, you don't see a T at the end. But what you do see for a lot of verbs is you do see that little E in front. So of to say it would be ijed in Coptic ag, of to do it would be iir, Coptic arire or ariwi, and so on. For a lot of those two consonant verbs, especially, you get that little E in front. For example, mach, to fill, would be, well, it's imach, even though in Coptic it is much. So Coptic here loses that little R in front. It's not there anymore. So it's not always a guide, although a lot of them, they match. Like, for example, when, to open, would be iwen. I should say that sometimes the E is not there in late Egyptian, even for the verbs that commonly take it. So if you see a jet and you don't see the E in front of it, the iota, it could still be an imperative, if that makes sense from context. It's just probably more common to see it with the extra yot, but it doesn't absolutely have to be there. Two verbs which are highly irregular, just like in Middle Egyptian and also in Coptic. The verb to come, E, gives you me in the masculine form, also me in the feminine form, but the two are vocalized differently in Coptic, which makes me think they may have been different. They were also spelled differently. The feminine form gets an extra B1 woman. And then there's a plural form, which uses an N. So mean, which becomes amein or amoine or amoini in Coptic. So that seems to be an old exception. Basically, the plural form, yeah, could be go also, but for the plural. And then for D, to give, the common imperative is imi, becomes ma in Coptic. And yeah, it's a completely different stem, obviously. It's super common, especially in combinations, give that something something happens. So we'll see that in a moment. And then we did a whole bunch of examples on this, where the key point was if you have to put a pronoun afterwards as a direct object, you use the dependent pronoun most commonly. So, for example, bring him would be iin su, so not iin f or something like that, but it would be in su. That's the classical way how to do it. There is, however, this new development where you have this to plus suffix pronoun. This can also show up. So even though bring him, sorry, did I say bring him? This should be give him. Mistake on my part. Even though give him should be technically imisu, you can also find imituf. It's just this new object pronoun that they start to create in late Egyptian. Um, all right. Any questions so far? Anything that we need to clarify? If not, so how would you say do it? I'm going to create a page here so I can actually.
Oh, it's Irsu.
Yeah, hang on. That sounded good. Let me write it down. Make sure I have it. So you said e ir. Oops. E02. Ir.
Insert.
And then just I'm missing something here for the spelling. Let me make sure I have that right. I think you would put an R. Irsu. That's right. That would be. It's exactly what it is. Irsu. Do it. That's right. If you were to say that to multiple people, like you do it plural, does anything change? It's a trick question. The answer is no. The imperative stays the same, with the one exception of for to come, they have a separate plural form. Remember the imien, but everything else, singular and plural is the same. Being on that topic, so how would you say listen?
يسجل.
Could be, although normally it is just sejm.
Just said him.
Just Sejm. Yeah.
If you look in Neveu, however, you remember correctly, he actually writes it out as E sejm with like an E in the transcription. But I don't remember seeing that before sejm. Maybe it occurs in some texts, but I haven't seen it. So sejm is just listen. That's right. How would you say come to a, let's say to a man?
Imi?
Hmm. That's right. Actually, me, not Imi.
Me.
Very close. And I'm looking at my little notes here just to make sure
Then
that
you
I
want some legs, I think.
want some legs in there. That's right. Like this, for example. That's right. And finally, how would you say give?
What's the other one?
Imi.
This one's the Imi. You got it. So there we go. So different ways how to form the imperative. Perfect. Okay, cool. So let's continue a bit. We had multiple example sentences, like for example here,
Oh, the
Ishem.
same.
Go again, I'm sorry. Okay. So Ishem, go, E1, open. Here we had, hang on, let me move this up again. So the imperative is over here. Come, shipset, come to get them, basically. So that was this example. Imisu, ermerit, put it on the riverbank. In other words, put it on the riverbank for sale. In the context, you have to know that that's what's going on. But that was basically that, not really put. It says give it to the riverbank. This give verb is extremely useful. LD or in the imperative, as we have it here with imi. Yeah. Then what else do we have? Here we had iwach, literally hold up or put up. In this case, well, put up is weird. Stop, basically. In this case, it just means stop. Ije, ijed pa, iruk. What was it? Say what you have done, right? Yeah, say what you have done. Okay. So I think that was all pretty straightforward. Then this construction here is super common. Oops. Imi plus a subjunctive. So give that somebody do something. So the way that is constructed is you have the imperative, and then you have a SECMF, which is the subjunctive in the subjunctive form. Or how should I say that? I mean, of course, SECMFs, they look the same, but so it's the verb plus either a suffix pronoun or a nominal subject, and then whatever else you need. So, for example, if you wanted to say, let me do it, how would you say that? First, you would translate it into give that I do it, but how would that sound in Egyptian? Any takers? Let me do this in transliteration first before I write it out. How would you say give?
That would be
Me.
Imi, presumably.
Imi, that's right. And then we need that I do it. So we need the subjunctive of to do, the subjunctive SECMF.
E.
That's right. Ir-i. And that's it. It's as simple as that.
All right.
How would you say let him do it? I'm just going to exercise this a bit. Oh, I forgot the
Imi
it.
Iref?
That's right.
Oh,
Imi, iref, and then we need some kind of object. So imi, iref, su.
oh, Sue.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, you got it. So that's exactly it. So same thing. If I wanted to say, hi, Rebecca,
Hi.
let us do it, it would be imi, give, iren, that we do it. Imi, iren, su. Okay. And that's as simple as that. Rebecca, we were doing a quick recap of the imperative, and I was just talking about the construction where you use the imperative of to give, which becomes imi, plus then a subjunctive afterwards, which is the verb plus the subject afterwards. And that's a super common construction that you see all the time because it's very versatile, right? Let us do it, let him do it, let that something happens. You'll see that a lot. So we had some examples here. Imi, into, give, that one bring. So into is one brings or one may bring. Na tevut, the sandals emtaunut, within the hours. So this is obviously a request for somebody to do something. Imi jedu. Jedu here is the subjunctive of to say, or perspective of to say. It's the same thing in late Egyptian in my mind. So jedu would be may they say. Imi jedu. Make that they say, not make, give that they say. Pa heper neb. Everything that happened, basically. Okay, so that's super common. You'll need that one. A few other little things about the imperative that I wanted to cover. One is you can add a little to reinforce it. How originally that is the second person pronoun. So literally, imi tu means give you that something happens or give you something. But I don't think they felt that anymore. It was just a syllable to emphasize the imperative. How to translate it in English? Maybe a then, if you have to, like then give blah blah blah, then do blah blah blah, or leave it out. Honestly, it's just the main thing. The main reason why I mention it is, apart from its never, you might be confused when you see that. You might think, oh, that's the impersonal to that you see up here, and then it doesn't make any sense. Like give one the silver. What? It doesn't make a lot of sense, but then if you know that this is being used to reinforce the imperative, suddenly the whole sentence makes sense. So mentally, you can take this out. What would you make out of this first sentence? I'll make it a bit bigger. And let me find the transliteration.
Shall I try?
Okay, perfect.
So I'll read it first. Eu jid ni imi ma. Is that what? I can't remember what that thing is underneath the bird.
This one?
Yes.
This is just the second part of IMI. Originally, I think long time ago that bird had a me underneath this one. Wait, this thing, and that becomes an ion, and then the whole thing here is just read as M. So just memorize the whole combination as IMI, because
I,
the ion doesn't mean anything.
I was wondering whether it's a sort of determinative of a hand for giving.
Good idea, but you'll see this an awful lot. Just to write the consonant M, I would almost take it as a variant. Um, let's put it this way: if you, in this word, actually, yeah, it would be a nice determinative, right? But you see this combination, like, I don't have an example here, but this combination of M and here, for example, in Macher or Macher storehouse, um, it's in here as well, and it's just the letter M. But sorry, Rebecca, I interrupted you.
No,
So,
thanks. That's
Imi?
helpful.
Mhm.
So imi two pa
So,
something's just come up, so I can't say it.
There we go.
Okay. Imi to pa something silver. Okay, so
This could be
pa well, what I was hebed, so I can't remember what silver is.
het. Hedge.
Okay, so um I say, is that no?
Is it I or is it something else? Who's talking?
You. Um, we.
We is N, right? U is just like in Coptic. A, ek, F, N, whatever the second plural is, and EU.
I can never when you say that, Mrs. Hands, I can never work it out because I've just
Okay.
without in context.
No worries. It's they.
They.
hmm
Okay, they said to me, I say, the give the silver.
Correct. That's a simple
Hand
information.
over the silver.
Hand over the silver. Exactly. Hand over the money. Show me the money.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's basically what it is. You got it. And so the two in there is really just to reinforce it. Like,
Ooh, so you think they're bandits? I wonder where this sentence comes from.
I am not sure. I would suspect just given who know, I don't know. No, I really don't know. Would have to look up the source. Should
The
be in
reason,
Hebrew.
the reason, because you said it was emphatic, I was trying to find a creative way of getting that too. Because we discussed last time that it's like if you're American, you say, "Give me the silver already."
That's
If
a
you're in
good one. I like
Barcelona,
that one actually. You're right.
yeah,
That is like give us a silver already.
yeah. And so, in which case, I say, "That's right." I say, "Give me the silver."
There you
That's
go.
like 19th century highwayman if you're very posh.
Right, right, right. Sounds good. If we ever need to translate it into Egyptian. But yeah, no, that's exactly what it is. Well done. So they say to me, or they said to me, I should say, they said to me, give the silver already. Okay. Oh, actually, technically, this silver, it's pi. It
Ooh,
has the little e at the end.
give
I
me
don't know,
this silver.
this silver, yeah, the one that we talked about, or whatever, the one in question.
Give me the expensive one. At the
That's right.
seashore.
At the what?
Would the less posh version be like oi or right then or
Yeah.
something?
Oi, you
I don't
there.
know.
Give me the silver, will ya?
God,
Something
love
like
that.
that. I don't know.
Funny.
Now I need to think what the American one would be.
Hey, dude, hand over the silver.
Hey, probably hey. Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah, yeah.
dude. Hey, dude. Hey, dude, hand it over.
I'm gonna keep this going.
Oh God,
Okay, sorry.
I forgot we're being recorded. Sorry
Of course we are. We are.
for the
Um,
one person that's watching it in 20 years' time.
Just having fun with dialects. That's okay.
if somebody really gets to the second half of lesson 21, kudos. But there are some steady likes there, so some people are watching this. What can I say?
Finally, just say, my children keep saying, Mummy, we're really worried about your online life. You know, these people are trying to kill you. I said, look, if they can get to this stage of late Egyptian and then they kill me, then they're welcome to me.
There you go. All right. So let me go back to our example sentences, just with a look at the clock. So then how about this one? A bit bigger. It's a simple one.
Perhaps I should try it again because it's easy.
All
Because
right.
I know you can do it. Um, Imi, Imi two, something su,
This one here, yeah. I have this one glossed.
ooh, Imi two, would
That's right.
su, would ye su?
Perfect. Very good. Okay. All right. So that leaves the question, what does it mean? And for
Okay,
that, you have to break it down into two
okay,
pieces. Mhm.
okay. Um, give,
Yeah, give.
um, give you to send it. In other words, It,
Close. But the question is who's sending?
okay. Ooh, let them. Okay, you as well. Give that they send it.
If you would see uji by itself, and uj means to send, what would you make out of uji?
I give,
I send,
I
yeah.
send.
So give or let that
Right. So now I've got to work out Sue that I send to you.
that I send it.
Send
Um,
it.
so let me. It's very different from English. That's why that creates some difficulty. So the best way to see the sentence in English is basically you say give that I send it. So uji is I. Um, this would be may I send it, and then basically the whole thing becomes give already that I may send it. In other words, let me send it, or let me send him.
Oh yeah. Okay, great.
So you really have to like deconstruct that sentence and then
Yeah,
rebuild it in English.
yeah. I like it when you do it literally because I don't have any difficulty, funnily enough, conceptually with saying it in a weird way. What I always find difficulty is if it's not literal, I can't make sense of it. But if it's literal, then I just get it.
Right, right, right. So that's really the important thing about this construction. To once it clicks, it's straightforward, but it takes a bit because it's so different from English. We use what is that here? Let me send it. That's an ACI, right? An accusative plus infinitive, and that's completely different from what the Egyptians do here. They use give and then they use a subjunctive. Um, Give that may send it. Basically, that's what they
Hmm.
say.
Maybe it's a bit more similar to French, done in a kind of formal way.
Yes, no, you're absolutely right. How would you say it in French? Your French is better than mine.
So let me send. So laissez-moi le what's send in French? Can't remember. Oh, envoyer.
Envoyer.
No, laissez-moi l'envoyer.
Oh, that's also an infinitive, though. Can't you use a subjunctive? Like, let me do it, like,
Ooh, oh gosh, that'll have to be puisque or something like that.
que je fasse or que je, or however you
Oui.
form
Oh,
it.
you're very so very politely. So saying,
Uh,
I'll owe to you, Erin.
I don't want to torture you with half-learned French, so
Oh, what a
I read
pity.
it better than I speak it. So let's just do this real quick. Uh,
Good,
ooh,
he is going to torture us.
Perhaps you could say laissez que j'envoie.
that's what I
We,
thought. Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
But is that subjunctive?
It's meant to be.
Oh, no, but does laissez que take the, yeah, that's right. Does it take the subjunctive?
Let me first try something.
Schools a long time ago.
I don't like it. This doesn't, I don't like that at
No,
all.
allow me please to do it.
Right.
No, allow me please
Yeah.
to do it.
What is
Say,
that?
allow me please. Allow me please. That makes it more formal.
Oh,
No, allow me please. That's got a subjunctive in it. Permettez-moi, s'il vous plaît,
yeah,
que.
this
Permettez
is
que je le fasse. Exactement.
that's
C'est
that's
ça.
that's where I wanted to go. Like,
Yeah. So as
uh,
soon as you become, if you imagine you're very polite, which I know is terribly difficult if you're living in New York, then you add in words like "allow me, please," that I might send it, and then immediately you'll go to the subjunctive.
mhm. So if you feel comfortable with the French or Spanish subjunctive, that's essentially what they're doing here. What would that be? Déjame que lo haga? That I do it. I think that's how this would. Um, Deja que lo haga? Deja que lo haga, right? Geez. In any case, before I embarrass myself anymore in the Romance languages, essentially that's what they're doing here. It's a subjunctive after the imperative. Okay. How about the next one?
I can try this one.
All right.
You sen
Mhm,
her jadnaf
mhm,
Harianek Arbol.
mhm. Yes. Mhm. What
Why are there plural strokes after you?
this one here?
Yeah,
Oh, boy.
it's almost like we're using the old suffix
Mm,
pronoun and the new suffix pronoun at the same time.
I wonder if I made a mistake. That could just be me. Is that sentence in Ewe? I mixed them.
I don't know.
You
I was wondering about that too. It looks like a lot of plurals happening.
you are right. And I probably messed that up. Let's see. Yes. I just saw you and I went straight to the plural, but you guys are
Oh,
absolutely
okay.
correct. This is not there. There we go. Hmm.
Okay, so and they said to him, so take yourself outside, go outside.
Right, exactly. And the grammar point here is perfect. The grammar point is that you can also use a dative. I should have said that, but I think we covered it briefly before. You can use a dative to reinforce the imperative. So that's an alternative to the to. You can also say Nick, which literally is, yeah, take yourself outside, or yeah, it's hard to translate into English. But
Quick question.
mhm,
Bull.
mhm.
Is that I can't see an L anywhere. Where's the
Mm.
Yeah, there
So
isn't one.
N and R together in group writing stand for syllable final R. Sorry, for syllable final L.
Wow, that's so exciting.
It
Which
is.
leads me on to my next question. That when it's just the way you read it, which is very helpful, the bull. Is that the same as the Coptic bol, which is away, maybe outside?
It's exactly the same. So you have
Oh,
ebol. This is ebol. Erbel is ebol. There it is.
wow.
Neat, huh?
So
That's really
exciting.
neat.
So yeah, there it is. It's already there. And because it's kind of new, they spell it not alphabetically, quote unquote, or the traditional way, but they spell it in group writing. So now I've gotten the question before, what do you do if you have a syllable initial L? Um, and the answer is they still write that with an R. So for the longest time, for like millennia in Egyptian, no matter whether L or R, you just write an R. And now in late Egyptian, they start to write syllable final L with a special combination, namely this one, N plus R. But if you're dealing with an L at the beginning of a word, like in Semitic words, or beginning of a syllable, they would still write an R for it. So this is only for syllable final. Why? I don't know. It must have sounded different to them.
I have a question about that with two examples. So there's a really like the oldest attested spelling of the word name of people being Israel has the R, and I think it's the in the Merneptah stele.
Mm,
There's a the R is used for both, and I
mhm.
don't think they're distinguished, like you said.
Hmm.
Even though one was obviously an R and one was an L. They're rendered with the same hieroglyph. But
Yeah,
then much later for spelling Cleopatra, there's the lion glyph that's used for the L, I think, if I'm
yeah.
remembering correctly.
Correct.
Or
I,
maybe I'm thinking of um with Alexander or Ptolemy. One of them, maybe both of them have the
yeah.
I think the
I,
lion glyph for the
I
L sound.
just wonder whether you think the L sound is not an old Egyptian sound. It's one that's come from somewhere else. Because there isn't an L in Middle Egyptian that I can remember. So it may be a sound that the Egyptians had some difficulty in saying, but it occurred in foreign words.
So
Probably.
they just rendered it as an R since it was close enough.
As close as they could get to it.
That's right.
That makes sense, yeah.
That's exactly what
I'm
you see
getting
here.
confused now. So the Baal here, who I'm familiar with, the god that the Israelites don't like. Are you saying that it was spelt with an R
It's
before?
spelled with an R. Actually, I think it's always spelled with an R. I'm not sure I've ever seen it with with NR. Um,
Wow.
maybe because it's been around for a while. So just like Ben was saying, in Middle Egyptian, you just see an R, for regardless of what it is in Canaanite. And to Chris's point, I mean, there's two interpretations to this. One is they just didn't have an L, or they had some kind of sound that was in between R and L, like in Japanese or Korean. That's the other option. They're just sort of like sounded the same to them. It's confusing that, for example, there's something also going on with, for example, the word for tongue, nes, ns. Um, I mean, Lashon in Hebrew for like language, and I think lisan in Arabic or something like this. I'm not completely sure. It has an L in it in Semitic, and that becomes an N in Egyptian. So the interesting question is what happens to Afro-Asiatic L in Egyptian, but that's way beyond my pay grade. But yeah,
That's really interesting. Like it might get nasalized or something. And oof,
there's something going on. I mean, the L has a complicated history in Egyptian, so I'm not ready to say they didn't have anything like an L sound, but they certainly did not distinguish R and L in writing until the late New Kingdom. And then later you get that rule thing. Not this one, the lion. That becomes the like in Ptolemaic times. That becomes your marker for L. And this convention goes away. Oh, Peter. Mhm.
Just to say, but knowing you lot who are also good at languages, and I've never met people like you before, I've had to Google various words which I didn't know. And one of the words I've come across is this thing. If you're making a rust sound, that's with your tongue. And if you're making a la 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 sound, that's also with your tongue. Now, is that called labial? Can't remember. Or alluverse. But anyway, whatever that word is, it means la 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 la. There's, they're both
I
tongue.
think it's a lateral approximate or something, or a liquid.
There we go. I knew you'd know the
But
word.
Yeah, or
but
trill.
labial refers to sounds that are made with the lips. So
Okay.
those are B, T, M, and um, I don't think N is a late. I think it's like B,
Yeah.
P, and then M. And there might be some other ones, maybe W, W. Yeah.
F and V, like
Um,
your what are they?
So the tongue,
right.
the tongue is used for a rolled R, and I think we are rolling our I's and R's in this, aren't we? I think you're doing Coptic, don't you?
I wish I could roll my R's. That's one of those things. I wish I knew how to do it, but
R
Oh,
is,
someday.
is it supposed to be rolled R in Egyptian?
I have no idea because
It is
I don't know.
there's so many different
I
L
hope
sounds.
not, but maybe.
Resh.
You have
Resh.
you
Hebrew,
have,
isn't it?
you have the single tapped R, right? Like what?
Huh?
Hebrew R is pretty close to the French R, isn't it? Like
I thought
I mean, Israeli Hebrew and French almost sound similar in
different.
the R sounds.
Let's ask Christopher. Christopher, did they roll
Yeah.
the R's? Do you roll the R in ancient Hebrew? I sense he's there. He's on a car. He's in a car somewhere. He's pretending to be there.
Not to put anybody on the spot.
Hello.
Hi there.
You
There
mean
you
the
are.
other Chris?
I meant you, Christopher.
No, I mean I have some training in Arabic. I mean Arabic has a trill, a rolling sound, like yeah. So Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim, Rahima, they have a trill, a roll R. So I'm imagining Hebrew. I don't know. I never heard a roll, a trill in Hebrew.
It always sounds similar to the nasalized sort of French R in Hebrew, and at least in modern Hebrew, which is Israeli. But I
Modern
don't
Hebrew.
know if it's pronounced differently.
Yeah, modern Hebrew, I'm afraid, doesn't really help us.
Yeah, it's pronounced differently. Yes, with
What
something.
about the word is it resh? Is that a roll R?
Resh. Yeah.
Resh? Resh?
Well,
Oh,
Resh, the letter is okay. I don't know. I'm talking nonsense. So have we
Resh.
got no Hebrew people here?
I can only offer some secondhand Hebrew from Yiddish, so that doesn't help. It's hardly. That's why I was thinking hard when I said Lashon for language. I mean, I would say Loshen Kodesh, the holy language, but that would not fly in biblical Hebrew or modern Hebrew. That's
I
Ashkenazi pronunciation.
yeah, I just had a look in Alan's Egyptian language to see if there was anything simple there, and I found a whole page or a page and a half on it, but I don't understand it. But He says there's a long-standing association between the R sound and the L sound.
Yeah,
He doesn't explain why.
yeah, it's tricky. It's tricky. I mean, you have the evidence from the Semitic loanwords, how they're being transcribed. Then you have the Proto-Asiatic connection, and then you have the Coptic evidence. And of course, they span more than 3,000 years from one end to the other. Um, and in Coptic, for example, you have the situation that in one particular Coptic dialect, all the all the R's end up as L's, if I'm not mistaken. So make out of that what you will. So there's one Coptic dialect that does have that. How do we say that?
Oh yeah, it has R's instead of L's or something like that. Like it switches them.
I thought it was L instead of R, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, I forget which one it was. Yeah, L instead of
Oh,
R. It switches the L. It switches uh the approximate sounds. Yeah,
I found
I
the
think it's
answer. I think I might have found the answer, but you will be able to make more sense of it. The ancient Hebrew letter resh could be pronounced as a rolled dental, whatever that is, or a rolled uvular, but the exact articulation is unknown. Blah, blah, blah. Today, most Israeli Jews pronounce resh as uvular approximant, which is also used in Yiddish. The alveolar rhotic is still used in some formal speech, such as the radio. And it says that the classical pronunciation of Hebrew, resh, was a flapped r, which is why it seemed to be doing it, and grammatically treated, blah, blah, blah. It remained a flap r or a trill, which is what Christopher's saying. It remained. So in Hebrew, amongst the Jewish diaspora, in other words, those who are going to keep the old language for longer, the r was a flap, whatever that is, or a trill, a trill.
Tip of your tongue, basically. Flaps are whatever, like pero, whatever you do at the front, as opposed to a German R, which is very far, or French, which is like here at the back of
Yeah.
your throat. There's so many different R's, and that's the weird thing that we do in English that I can't even describe what that is.
some of them are there's most R's are so different from what I've heard described as the lazy English R, which is just raw.
Yeah,
There's
we've
so
almost
many
in
more
English we've
dynamic
almost
R sounds.
eliminated the R, and it's turned into just a sort of
that too.
Actually, really neat thing about this. So I started learning a little bit of Sanskrit, and apparently the R's and L's are vowels. For there's a different way of writing R and L when it's used as a vowel in Sanskrit, because R and L and W are all kind of semi-vowels.
yeah.
So I mean, some languages even go just go further and just consider R's, L's, and sometimes W as being vowels,
Yeah.
which is kind of cool.
Right. Okay.
That was kind of a tangent, so I don't
That's
know.
what we do, right? For example, I'm looking at the word creme here in regular in Sahidic, becoming clem in Fayumic. So yeah, there is this shift between Ro and Lambda when you come to
So
Fayumic.
Fayumic's the one that changes the R's become L
Right.
for Coptic dialects.
Sheli instead of Shere. So for daughter. So yeah, it writes an L where the other dialects of Coptic have an R. And of course that raises the interesting question, was that there in earlier Egyptian? Like were there some dialects of Egyptian that maybe had more of an L sound, or is that question not answerable? Like was it something in between? I don't have a strong opinion on it, but it definitely is it's an area of research, let's put it this way. Hmm. But that I think means for us is pronounce it whichever way you like. Don't have a firm recommendation there. All right, but so then we got our sentence right. They said to him, "Come you or come yourself out," or however we want to say that. Come out already. What about the next two?
Yeah, I'll go.
All right.
All right, so we have E, Jed,
Mhm.
Mini. Mini. Mini.
Mhm. Maybe I use, yeah. Mhm.
Remech.
Did you have the knee in between? Yeah, I think you had it, right?
I said mini.
Okay,
Mean.
perfect.
Yeah, I bunched them all together. Me and E.
Okay. Mini, Ramesses, yeah. Mhm.
Remech. E pater. Pater. E
Yeah, I guess, huh? Some kind of
or
vowel. Mhm.
E T.
Okay. All right. What do you make out of it?
Um, say
Mhm.
or said say. Um, the man, bring the man to me. No, wait, no. Um, yeah, bring the man to me or bring the man to me. Come the man to me.
Yeah, it's something I should have mentioned. It looks like the word to bring, but that's the third option how you can reinforce the imperative. It just,
Come to.
you can mentally take it out. It just basically is another particle to say, to emphasize the imperative. So mentally you can take that out. So just imagine it wasn't there.
Oh, the me.
Yeah, you can like honestly, oops. You could
Okay,
put
I see.
you
So, yeah.
you could put
So
that
all
in.
that's one word there. That's all.
This
So
is
it's
just,
like two. It's just kind of like then or
yeah.
emphasizing it.
It's just a particle to for emphasis. So for the
Gotcha.
translation, you can leave it out. And just imagine the
Okay.
sentence was I jetni remich ipere or iper, whatever the final vowel there is.
So the man say to me or say to me. No, wait.
Mhm.
Say to me, the
Say to
man.
me.
Look
Say to
to
me.
me. Pater, look. Say to. Oh, I'm sorry. I missed man. Say to me, the man.
Mhm. Man, yeah, okay, I'll go with that.
Look or see. Look.
Yeah. And what do you think? Didn't cover this yet, but what could this be, you think? If you think about like Middle Egyptian, the man
Mm.
ipetere, what would it be if it were if we spoke to to a man or to a woman? Ipeteric.
So let's get the particle here. So you, the one. Well, I'm gonna let the participle. No, no, no. You see.
Right. So
What do we have it
damage,
now?
the damage ipeteric.
You see the man. No, wait.
Yeah.
I just put that. Oh, wait. No, that's wrong. Um. Oh, the man you see, or
Correct. That's right. That's right.
that.
Actually, so let me explain this real quick. This is the relative. The relative gets an extra e in Late Egyptian. We haven't covered it yet officially. It has shown up once or twice in text. So this is like a
And
relative
that
form
you
in Middle
see.
Egyptian. And you use these instead of a relative sentence, you use these for the past tense. So that you have seen, the man that you have seen. So say to me the man that you have seen. Oops. Um, and we would have to make that, we wouldn't say in English, it would be tell. Tell me, tell me the man that you've seen, basically. In other words, point him out or tell me whom you've seen. That's what it would be. I hope that makes some sense.
Mhm.
So, so this puppy is the relative form, and in this case, however, he wasn't addressing a man; he was addressing a woman. That must have been the
Woman.
witness to the crime or whatnot. So I'm going to put a B1 here again, and I'm assuming that's some kind of vowel form. So ipetere or something. Tell me the man that you saw.
And you said
Is
that particle. Can you elaborate a little bit on this? The particle after ejed.
Yeah, it's just. I mean, I think it comes from the same verb to give. Um, like for example, like you have it in Shakespeare, uh, tell, pray, whom you saw or something. It's one of those little things that you throw into the sentence for extra emphasis. We don't really do that so much in English.
Like
Te-
pray tell,
Yeah, like pray tell, maybe, but would it be like tell me then
prithee
or
or something.
tell me, please. Maybe you could translate as please, actually. Tell me, please, what whom you have seen. Tell me, please, the man you have seen.
Yeah, please is a more modern English thing that still happens with formal.
Mhm.
Did you say that was feminine then, the putre?
This is feminine, yes.
Okay, so is it tell me the woman that you see her?
Not quite. No, no. The way it works is so this here works like an adjective behind the word remage. So, for example, if it were it would be weird, but tell me about the great man or something. So remage are. So you would just have the adjective. The good man, the remage nefer. But in this case, it's the remage ipetre, the man that you have seen. This whole thing. Mhm.
What's the feminine for then? I don't get it.
The
It's a
you,
female you
it's a female you.
Oh, so
instead of a
you're
male
just
you.
okay, so you're asking a woman.
So if I were asking you,
Right.
Rebecca, tell me about the man you saw, it's a feminine adjective
Ooh, so we're addressing.
or pronoun. We just don't do that in English because we have
Right.
no masculine or feminine second person.
Okay.
Cool. That's exactly what it is.
So it would have a different form if you were asking a man the same
Yes.
question.
Right. If you were asking me
Okay.
the question, it would have to be ipetrek.
That's great. It's very useful though, because if you're like reading a story and you don't know who they're talking to, then at least you can find out, their biological sex.
He's talking to a woman.
It's harder to play the pronoun game in Egyptian. By pronoun game I mean and then she said to her about her, and you go like, okay, which her and which she are we talking about? Could be three different people. It's a little bit harder because
So
you have that.
by the way, it's the same in ancient Hebrew, and it used to be terribly confusing for me because there's so many different people involved in the sentence. Female horses, a female and male horses, and you have to use things like a mare to show you're talking about a male horse. And then if you're talking about women looking at a male horse, it's so confusing. So this is similar.
And then you have to have a group of people. It's also kind of tricky too. Like, are groups like automatically masculine or automatically feminine? So
Often common plural, but is it common plural in Egyptian or not?
Common plural in Egyptian, unless for like adjectives or something in Middle Egyptian, if you were only talking about women, like the daughters of Pharaoh or something, you would use the feminine plural. But I think if you're talking to a mixed group, it would be masculine plural, just like in Arabic and a lot of languages.
yeah, I think Hebrew does that too.
But in terms of the pronoun, it's just a
The pronoun is
just a
common,
collective.
you're right.
Yeah,
Pronoun does
it's
not
just
have
common.
the second person does not have, and the third person neither. They have no distinction in gender. It's not like in Semitic languages where they still distinguish. You're right. Well, not all Bunny right, not going there. Let's finish this page. I have one more.
Can I try this one?
Sure, of course.
Oh, that's right. So ich erek, it's questions. Ich erek, and then hab in. Let's see. Hab imi or hab me,
Mhm.
my. Okay, and then na pa seher. No, na pa seheru.
Mhm.
Ratib. Not sure about that last part. Ratibek.
Wait, where do you get that from?
Oh, the lion.
That is a different line. This is hat.
Oh, hot. Okay. Hot ibek.
Yeah, and actually the word is hat is hard, and
Okay.
the ib is a determinative,
Oh,
so it's
right.
really
The
just
ib
hatek.
is okay. Right. Ib is a Middle Egyptian word. So
Correct.
okay.
Mhm.
So that's like heat in Coptic, right? So
Correct.
okay. And then oh man, I forget what this bird is. Ak,
Mhm.
Aku.
Mhm.
Okay, with an I. All right. Aku ini
Uh,
uh M off?
Yeah, close. Hang on.
I'm not sure.
This here could be, I mean, I would do this.
Oh,
Although technically, I think you could,
UE.
yeah. It's the verb E to go or to
Go.
yeah, to go.
And then
Imhoff, you said, right?
Imhoff.
That's right.
Okay.
Perfect.
So all right, so the question, so that's just an interrogative particle. So just telling you it's a question when they don't have question marks.
Mhm.
So and it's to you,
Yeah,
or for you.
right. And this is an
Not quite.
it's an idiomatic expression.
Is it you? Okay.
Not quite. It's more like, what's up with you or how you doing?
Okay, it's like what's up? How are you? Sort
Mhm.
of.
What
How is it to you? How are you?
what is with you? What's with
Okay,
you?
what's up? Quid
Literally,
August,
what's with
sort
you?
of.
Yeah. That just
Okay,
sounds a little
how's it
bit
going?
competitive in English, doesn't it? Like, what's with you?
Okay. Okay.
You, me,
What's
packing up.
up?
How you doing?
Yep. Okay.
That's more
So
like it. Mhm.
how are you doing? Okay. So Hob, me, and so this me is just uh the intensive that we saw earlier, intensifier. So it's the Hob must be an imperative. So vocab Hob. Let's see, will the determinative help me? It's about moving.
Hab
Uh
originally is something like to send, but in
and
late Egyptian letters, it typically means write. Like,
okay, so okay. Hmm. That's interesting why it has a leg determinative, I guess, for the motion that it has to
right.
descend, like write me a letter,
Because like in Middle
the
Egyptian, you can
messenger.
also hub, you can send a messenger, you can send the army. I think they can all use hub.
That makes
Um,
sense.
and I think that's where the legs come from.
Okay, that's cool. Okay, so write send or write to me,
Mhm.
or yeah, me to me, that or the letters, uh, um
This one is an interesting one.
write for me, write to me the letters or the messages um which your heart goo um see, this is also goo brings, I want to say like brings to me about him, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
Um
Aku is enter, and
okay,
we forgot something here. There's
I
a
did.
little man here, so it's actually Aki. Oh no, wait.
Aki,
Am I,
okay.
am I, am I messing this up? No, sorry, that belongs to Uwe. We had it. My bad. Forget
Okay.
everything I said.
Yeah.
Wait, but why? Oh, because I messed this up. Sorry.
It's something
This,
about like write what enters your tell me about what you feel, sort of is what the sense, I think. But
that's the first part.
grammatically it's
hmm You're right about the first
like
part.
how are you?
hmm
Send to me uh a letter or the letter which uh whatever that which enters your heart,
That's a
or
tad
whatever is
unclear.
in your heart. Yeah, let's figure this out. Sorry.
Let me help you a bit.
Sure.
So secha is this word that can mean a ton of things. State, manner, affair.
Oh,
It
it
has
doesn't mean
nothing.
letter.
It doesn't mean letter. So
Okay.
secha very often like state or manner is a good translation. Let's say
Okay.
manner.
The
Um,
condition manner
the condition is good. So the condition or the manner of chetek or chatek.
of your heart.
Correct. So send to me the condition of your heart, or heart in Egyptian often is the same as mind in English. So
Mind.
the state of
Yeah.
your
Okay.
mind. You had
State
it
of mind.
translated well actually before, namely, as tell me what's on your mind, essentially, is what he's saying. But literally it
Yeah.
is tell me please, or write please to me the condition
Right
of
to
your heart.
me, the condition of your heart,
But then he says,
meaning your
ah,
state of mind.
correct. Aki imaf. Ak is the word to enter, and it has
Okay.
an I ending
Oh,
at the
what
end.
enters it, meaning your heart.
not quite. If it ends in
Oh
an
no.
E,
Okay.
if the verb ends in an E, what is that?
Okay. Okay, so that could be an imperative or it could be a subjunctive. Like
I like the
let
subjunctive.
me
Yes,
let me enter it or let me understand it, maybe.
that's exactly what he means. He says, "Write to me the condition of your heart, so that I may enter in it." This is a subjunctive.
Okay, meaning so that I may understand what's going on with you.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay, that's pretty idiomatic. Okay, thank you for helping with that.
Sure, of
So,
course. My pleasure. So that's really what it is. Like, what's up with you, or what's going on with you? Write to me the state of your heart or your mind, so that I may enter in it. In other words, so that I become um, yes, so that I can partake in it, or so that I can understand you. That's exactly what it is.
It's a lovely sentence, and what comes across is the immediacy of this, vernacular. Each sentence, you suddenly get the sense of where you are, what's going on. It's so dramatic and immediate.
I have a ton more. I just dug up an Ostrakon this morning that has a few imperatives in it, which is basically a father sending to his son to get a medicine for his eyes. So it doesn't get much more immediate than that, but I think we'll have to cover that the next time around.
Exciting. You haven't been digging, have you, Aurelio?
Really digging? No, 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 no. I just play an Egyptologist on TV. I wish, I wish that would be nice. No, when I say digging, it means more like in databases and books. All right, guys. I would say let's continue maybe one more time with host and set to be determined. What we do next week, but then otherwise definitely in the new year, more to follow in the channel.
Wonderful. Thank you. I'm up for next week if anybody
good.
else.
I'm too.
Okay, I'll
Yeah.
put it in
Are
there.
you saying, excuse me, are you saying next week is for Ramesses?
No, next week would be Horus and Seth.
Yeah.
Last page of Horus and Seth. We're almost done. Yeah,
So when do you think the next Ramesses might be?
I am thinking, good question. We could do the 4th of January or the 11th of January.
The 11th, because I'm not here on the 4th, but that's just me.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I may be partially out on the 4th. So maybe the 11th is the best to continue. Why don't we do that?
The 11th would be good for me.
All right.
That sounds
Then
good.
then
Yeah,
we
we'll do
have
so.
it. So the next Ramesses is definitely on the 11th, and Horus and Seth to be decided if we do one on the 21st or not. Okay, then?
Thank you so much. This is such a pleasure, honestly. Keeps me
All
happy.
right.
Aurelio, can I screenshot
Give it
that those the Astrakhan that I wanted to work on that.
Oh, you know what? You can, but I'll also post it on the channel. But feel free to take a screenshot.
Okay, got it.
Cool. All right. See you all soon. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye
Bye.
bye.
You guys, bye.